Welcome back to the Most Valuable Player podcast. My name is B-Man. I'm here with Sosa, and we're back again with another episode. If you notice, I'm wearing the same clothes as the one that I wore in the last episode.
Yeah, we slept here overnight, man. That's what happened.
We stayed. Nah, we batch recorded. We just did 2 recordings at the same time so that we can drop content and be a little bit more consistent.
Yes.
Just to point out that this shirt is Muhammad Ali against Frazier. Big fight.
There's a big fight.
Big fight. Do you know he's like one of my heroes?
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
It's a good hero to have.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Anyway, what are you saying?
I'm chilling, man.
You good?
I heard you want to talk about Man United.
I do want to talk about Man United.
So then let's have it.
It's so difficult. So difficult.
Where do you want to start from? We talked about the penalty already.
So difficult. If the penalty is not an issue, it's our defenders. If the defenders are not an issue, it's Pogba. If Pogba's not the issue, it's the midfielders, it's the strikers. It's always some issue. I don't even know where to begin, I'll be honest with you.
You guys got one of the best keepers in the world.
We do.
You guys signed probably one of the best centre-backs you had in a while.
We have.
You guys got a world-class midfielder.
Yes, we do.
And you guys got some up-and-coming strikers up front.
We do, boo-boo.
And you got a legend as a club manager now.
Yes, we do.
What's the kerfuffle about? What's the problem?
We're trash.
After I list all them things.
After you listen to all things, we are trash.
You know what?
Man United is trash.
One thing I can say, the start that Chelsea had is almost like the opposite of the first 3 games that Man United have had.
Yeah.
Like, you guys smashed us.
Look. Listen, we are in the Premier League. We are in the, hands down, the best league in the world. There's no shame in losing. There's only ever been one invincible team. Yeah? It's only ever been one. Okay? We know Man United, on paper, can seem quite strong.
Yeah.
But there's just so many issues, and we've said it so many times, from top to bottom, decision making. I love Solskjaer. As a Man United fan, I have to love him. Absolutely adore him.
Of course.
But there's something missing. And that thing that's missing is discipline. It's proper structure. It's being a proper team. And this team is missing something massive to get over the hump. We could sign whoever the hell we want. This is not going to get fixed that easily. Throwing money at this team is not going to make a difference.
It feels like you're missing like a guy like Roy Keane.
Not even. Do you know what's so funny? If we go back to the Wolves game, although Pogba got a lot of stick for missing the penalty, he was one of our best players, of the game.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't misplace pretty much a single pass. Although he controlled that midfield superbly. Penalty was sour. I mean, the goal that they scored. Like,
Neves.
Which goalkeeper is saving that? Oof. There's no shame in. There's nothing we could have done about that. We dominated that game up until they got that goal, and then there was like a 10-minute stretch where they were just trying to come at us hard. But the thing is, they played good, but there was no end product. It's just at the end, it was just lacking just a little bit. And then Solskjaer waited until 70th, 80th minute to make a change when clearly what was on the pitch wasn't working. Get Lingard the hell off. Get him the hell off. He hadn't done anything. Do you know how old he is now?
I don't know, like...
He's 27.
What?
He's not a kid anymore. He's 27. You're performing like that at that age. Get the hell out of the club.
He's 27.
He's 27, bro.
Whoa.
Being young is not the excuse. You can give...
He's got a baby face then.
Yeah, he does. You can make excuses for Rashford for being too young. You can give Martial the benefit of the doubt sometimes because you're banking on his potential, which both of them have bags of. The guy's 27. This is meant to be his peak now. And this is what we get?
That's surprising, man.
I would much rather see Greenwood play.
You know what? Yeah, I like some of the Man United youth players. Greenwood's been a revelation like since he came.
It's amazing. Look, I'm in a rush. Yeah, I'm in a rush to win, and I shouldn't. Every team, it flows and it ebbs. Liverpool had a stretch. Man United had a stretch. Chelsea had a stretch. Man City are having a stretch. It goes. Man United are going to be back one day. But it hurts you just see someone that really, and God, honestly, should not be starting in a game for Man United.
You got to ask yourself, would you rather have trophies that come inconsistently, or would you rather have something that builds?
Yeah, something that builds. But why is Jesse Lingard the answer to that?
I mean, right now, he's not the answer, but he's a answer.
No, he's not.
Of course he is. He's there right now.
Did you not hear what I said in the last video? He's got the same amount of assists as Adam Johnson, who's been in
I told you don't
for
mention
3
that guy's,
years.
I told you don't mention that guy's name in this podcast, man. But
I'm just saying.
The thing is with the team, you can't just single out one guy, because one guy doesn't make like a massive difference. They do have impacts, but you got to think about what the team has done so far. Right now, the Man United team, they look their most dangerous when they're playing. They look dangerous when they were playing Jose Mourinho type football, when they were just sitting back and hitting people on the counter. What does that tell you about Solskjaer? It feels like right now, at this point, even though they've had almost how many months he's been now at the club now?
He's been here since
6 months?
early of the year. Yeah, early in the year. So call it 6 months.
It feels like I still don't know their philosophy and how they're looking to play. Are they looking to sit back and hit teams on the counter? Are they looking to dominate the game from start to finish, passing football? It's hard to put your finger on.
No, this has been the strategy so far. Are you ready?
Go on then.
Because I think this is groundbreaking. Because not a lot of people have realised what Solskjaer is doing. I think it's genius.
Go on then.
You pick your starting 11 and you tell him to play. That's exactly what we are doing. We are putting out players and we're telling them to play.
I think they're missing a few steps in that.
No, but they're missing many steps. But that's what it seems like. Genuinely, that's what it seems like. It seems like, here you go, there you go, have it. I feel like Arsenal are doing the same. I feel like Chelsea are doing the same. Here you go. These are the players that are playing today. Do your best.
That's the thing. It's like modern day football nowadays. I watched the video where they were talking about the Chelsea Man United game, and they talk about Jose Mourinho, and they're talking about teams and philosophies and principles. And I remember Gary Neville brought up a point saying these managers don't have enough time to implement their philosophies onto a team.
Yeah.
So it just comes to a point where they decided, you know what, instead of adapting to a team, they're trying to force their philosophy during that game, even if it's to the detriment to the end result.
Yeah.
Just so they can get the philosophy through.
Yeah.
But I feel like Man United's philosophy, it's hard to distinguish. Whereas other teams like City, you know what they're about.
Yeah.
Liverpool, you know what they're about. To a point, you kind of know what Arsenal are about.
What are they about?
But they're a team that just like to break, but also it's weird. It's like they like to keep the ball, but also move it at a quick pace.
Okay.
But even still, it's
okay.
It doesn't work as well as, because the managers they've got, like Klopp and Pep, these guys have had time to actually build that. Solskjaer's not had that much time to do anything.
No, but again, I fully understand what you're saying. I understand. It's not like Klopp won trophies in his first season here. It's not
exactly
like Pep Guardiola won in his first season. But when both of them came, you already knew what they wanted to do. It was just the fact that some of the players just weren't good enough for that system. What did he do? He started picking players to match the system that they're trying to work towards, and look at the finished product, right? But what's so beautiful about Klopp and Pep is that they macromanage every single detail on the pitch. It's like they're trying to orchestrate. It's like, I don't know what the guy's called that's got the
composer.
The composer. They're like the composers, and the players are just the guys that holding the instruments and just doing what they're telling them to do. But what people don't realize is that although, yes, they are micromanaging, both those managers have put their players into the best positions to play their version of best football that they can. The first thing that you'll notice when you watch Liverpool and when you watch Manchester City is just how creative their players are. They can make things happen out of nowhere. Their strikers, as soon as they get the ball, it's like they've got 50 moves already calculated in their heads, and they seem to nearly always go for the right one.
Yeah.
May it be some audacious flick over the defender, or stepping over the ball and let it nutmeg one of the defenders straight through to one of their strikers. Like, they just know. It's like they've practiced every single situation and they know how to adapt to it. Can't say it about any of those contenders, and it hurts, but it's right. It's like this league is split up into 4 parts. And you got the top 2, you got the 4 after that, you got the middle, and then you got the relegation zone. It's like that is what the Premier League is made up of.
I mean, it's been like that for a few years now. Obviously, before we had the Big 4, and even before that, there was still teams trying to vie for the 4th spot.
Do you know what that had me thinking? Do you know how we've been saying for years why the Premier League was better than the La Ligas? Because we've got a lot better teams really competing, winning trophies. We are a carbon copy of what we've been saying about the La Liga. We always said there's only 2 teams that are actually winning it. I know it's just a short space of time, but like right now as it stands, we are not that much different from the league. We're top heavy with 2 teams. At least the Liga now got 3.
Yeah, but even still, the drop off between Real Madrid and Barcelona to the and Atletico Madrid to the teams is so big.
I don't think it's as big as you think.
I mean, it's big enough. It's big enough to...
In terms of contending, it's big enough. But as it stands, the gap between Man City and Liverpool and then the rest is huge. It's Grand Canyon size.
But think of it this way. The gap between teams like Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal, how big is that gap between the section underneath them, like the Wolves and the Everton and the Leicesters? I don't think it's that big.
Well, but it's not close.
If a team like Wolves has managed to beat them...
It's not that close.
And Leicester managed to get a draw against Chelsea at home. Like that gap between those teams isn't that big at all. Yeah, you're right. There's a gap between the top teams and that 3rd section.
Yeah.
But even still, that 2nd section and that 3rd section, they're just really close together.
Yeah, but it's if only everyone had a coach like those 2 teams, you know?
Then it wouldn't be the Premier League. This is the thing, that those teams right now, they've got about 2, maybe 3 years, and then they need to start recycling. I think at that point...
You say that now, but it's the way, especially the way that Pep is set up.
Pep's going to be...
He recycles. As soon as he sees, it's like he can smell a decline. It's like as soon as oh yeah, that player, I don't think he's going to be as good next year as he was last year. He'll replace him with someone younger. He rolls them over. David Silva, Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, I mean, he does that.
Yaya Toure, Kevin De Bruyne. Fernandinho, Rodri. Like this.
Yeah.
Vincent Kompany, Laporte.
Danilo and Cancelo.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
He's you know what it is?
Aguero, Jesus.
That's not really like that.
Jesus is unbelievable.
He is unbelievable, but Aguero's still a level.
No. I'm just saying that if he does drop off,
they got replacements. Yeah, true.
Like that. That team will be good as long as Pep Guardiola is sat in the dugout. For as long as he is there, that team won't be.
I think they're more of an outlier, whereas a team like Liverpool, who've not really made a signing this season, they're more likely to, once their front guys, because right now they're literally in their prime. Once they start tailing off and they need to get replacements, how easy is it going to be to find another Mohamed Salah for 35 million?
You mean for Liverpool?
For pretty much any team in like the next stage below them.
Yeah, but you don't know that. But the good thing about Liverpool is just the fact that they can attract pretty much anyone.
True. Well,
that's the stage that they're at. It's like you can just pick. The only thing that's stopping Liverpool from getting whoever they want is the team. There's not a single player in the world. Well, maybe a handful of them that won't. But no one will say no to Liverpool. But
here's the thing right now, where you've got these teams, because we know the top 4 is there for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's not just a case of there's clout in being top 4. No, there's financial gain for being in top 4.
Of course, because Champions League gets some money.
And teams like Liverpool, teams like Tottenham, they're rich clubs, but they don't have like backing like a team like Man United does, or like a Chelsea does. Like if Chelsea or Man United, like if there's no limits, if there's no like transfer bans or anything like that, if they really wanted to, they can go out and make a humongous splash that these teams couldn't do.
Well, Liverpool could make quite a big splash.
Liverpool can make a splash, but I think as far as like if they wanted to do an overhaul in their roster or in their squad, Man United would be more than capable of like getting like 5-6 players and spending hundreds of millions.
So with a lot of teams, you know, with the way that the TV money is set up and stuff, it's a lot of teams could afford it. With the Premier League, it's just gone to a stage now is who can we attract? They can afford this. There's not, especially for the top teams. There's no one in the world except for Arsenal, because clearly they're only getting 45 million a year. Let's exclude them.
They can make that work though. They can make that work.
Yeah, but they got the greediest owner ever. But what I was trying to say is that there's so much money that the teams have in the Premier League. Then in reality, there's no one in the world that they cannot afford. It's just whether or not it's worth buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it really comes down to. Is the team willing to let go? Is that player worth that money? Man United could sign anyone. Liverpool could sign anyone. Man City could sign anyone. Tottenham could sign anyone if they wanted to. And let's be honest, I take the mick out of Arsenal, but even they, if they put like the actual money into the transfer, they could buy anyone they wanted.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that being in the Premier League, automatically teams are going to be rich enough to spend more than La Liga or teams like lower than the Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Serie A and the Bundesliga and Ligue 1. So they've got that advantage, but the fact is that because they're all in the Premier League, it's challenging on each other.
Yeah.
And so no matter how many, Aston Villa spent 100 million pounds.
They got cash.
And they spent it all. They got like 11 new signings.
Yeah. Although I'm really dead against that.
And
if you got the money,
they did it in the hopes that they could survive in the Premier League.
Yeah.
If it works, we'll find out. But I don't know if it will. Hopefully they can stay up, because I wouldn't mind Aston Villa being in the Premier League, because they're a historic club in the league. They've been there for years. But I feel sorry for the teams like Burnley, man. Burnley have got money, but like nowhere near the rest of the Premier League. I don't know why. Well, I know why, because their fan base might not be the biggest, and their football's not the most attractive.
But they filled the stadiums up every single game.
I mean, how big's the stadium?
Yeah, but most of the money is coming from TV revenue anyway.
Yeah.
And that gets shared out.
But going back to Man United, if by say Christmas time they're still struggling, what can Man United do to try and get over that hump and get into the top four?
Honestly, that's not a question that has like one answer. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't know. Do we just keep... The thing is, I like consistency. Yeah, I like consistency. So right now, I like what Solskjaer is doing in terms of bringing the right players. I like that. I want to keep that going. But at the same time, I'm also looking at Solskjaer, because that's not his only job. His job is not to pick the right players. His job is also to take these players, put them onto a pitch and make them play good football, winning football.
Okay, my next question then.
So no, wait. Let me just completely finish that off. So, if the product on the pitch is not good enough, and we're talking about outside of the top 5, top 6 good enough, which will never happen. But again, my aspirations are still top 4. So let's just go by that, yeah? So if it doesn't bode for a top 4, and we are signing the right players, but it's not working out, then the next thing that we have to look at is, well, what is the manager doing? And if I was happy with what the manager did, then I would look at the players. Believe it or not, I will look at the manager first, and then I will look at the players. Okay, well, the manager seems to be doing the right things, so let me look at the players, and what are the players doing wrong? Okay, well, actually, the players are fighting. And then you look at the ownership and thinking, oh, what the hell is going on up there? There is a problem everywhere that's hard to fix. If we replace Solskjaer with another manager, we've seen since Sir Alex Ferguson, the changing managers, it's not made that much of a difference. I do prefer for them to stick with Solskjaer and keep getting the right players and have a long-term build, but not to the detriment of the team, to a point where we are consistently not making the Champions League, because if that happens, then we cannot attract the right players anymore when the time is right. Because at the end of the day, once you get all the pieces to fit the puzzle, the last puzzle is the superstar. The last puzzle is your Mohamed Salah's,
that crown jewel.
Yeah, like you need the crown jewel. Forget, not even Mohamed Salah. You need your Van Dijk. Like then you need to find that one superstar that will just tie everything together.
So, to follow up the question regarding Solskjaer, do you think he's going to last to the end of the season?
He will. Only because that I don't think changing the manager is going to make that much of a difference. I want him to stay, but I don't know what it is that Man United could do right now that could make a change. I think as fans, it's really hard to be patient.
True.
It really is, especially for fans of the top four that you want to win so badly. Like, I'm okay to go through the process, but it hurts when that process involves making dumb, silly mistakes. That is where I find it hard to not draw the line.
No, I mean, to be fair, I've seen you being a Man United supporter at least for the last like 4 or 5 years, and I was thinking he's living the life of a Chelsea fan right now, where there's been like
terrible.
a turnover in teams,
Terrible.
negative football, and it has an impact to a point where you just feel like, I don't want to watch this game. I'd rather watch another game. I get where you're coming from, man. And hopefully, Solskjaer will be able to actually bring the best out of these players and play some exciting football.
I hope so. Anyway, we're gonna put a stop to it there, guys. Thank you for listening to us. We had a really awkward handshake in the last episode as well.
Let's do the proper handshake. There you go, man. That's how it goes.
That's the one. That's the one. Anyway, thank you. Please, again, subscribe, like, share it with people, and we'll be back again next week.